I got a brand new bike to show you. And this one's a game changer. It's finally here. The all-new super light full carbon trail E-MTB from Polygon. This is the brand new Siskiyou TLE. With 150 millimeters of front travel, 140 out back, and a totally reworked IFS rear suspension linkage, this new Siskiyou is ready to hit the trails. Now hang on just a sec. Future Ben here. I gotta be real with you guys. This bike's been in production for a few years, and over that time period, it's gone through some changes. Originally, the plan was to make this a super light and snappy 140 rear and 150 millimeter front travel trail bike that would slide right into the Siskiyou family. I've had the bike since Crankworks of last year, and even over that time period, it's changed quite a bit. Not because the engineering team just changed their mind, it's because riders like myself and Dan Wolf got a hold of the bike and realized that it was so much more capable than just a trail bike. That's why the front travel got increased to 160 mil. They totally beefed up the rear suspension linkage. And now this bike fits more into the enduro category along with the Colossus, hence the name change. So bear with me, okay? Because I recorded this video last year and I'm only now able to post it. Like I said, a few things have changed on the bike, but I'm gonna do my very best to correct everything with the graphics on the screen. All I'm trying to get across is that I thought this bike was sick as I got it last year. And now, every one of you out there that's gonna order one is gonna get an even better bike. So let's get back to the video and check it out. Like I said earlier, the bike behind me is gonna change everything. Not only for me, but I think every mountain biker would love to have one of these in their quiver. In this video, I'm gonna show you everything about the bike. And right after that, I'm gonna be putting this new whip to the test to see if it's actually gonna be the bike I'm gonna be reaching for the most this year. Now on an acoustic trail bike, let's call it a naughty bike, you do the climb once on your own power, and then you have an amazing, almost euphoric experience on the way down. I find myself having way more fun than expected because I just suffered a whole hour just to get up here. I'm tired, my legs are cramping, and I'm not gonna stay at the top of the mountain to get eaten by a bear. Might as well enjoy the downhill. Even if it's just a blue trail. You've earned your turns and now it's time to get paid. All kidding aside though, a well-spec'd trail bike is responsive, sharp, and agile, and it's considered to be by most riders as the best mountain biking experience. On the other end of the spectrum, you have the full power e-bikes. They make the climb so easy that you forget about them altogether. You can recover, chat with your friends, or even have a nap on the way up. They make it super easy to get 4, 5, 6 laps in the same time it would take you to do one on the naughty bike. But on the way down, this is where you realize that it's not like riding a regular mountain bike. The 50+ pound weight of these things makes the bike sluggish, a little bit harder to play around with, and sometimes with all that momentum, I can't help but feel like a passenger instead of being the one that's in control. So what if there's a happy medium? A bike that can still make you feel superhuman on the climbs and get those 5 to 6 laps in an afternoon. All while being light enough to feel like a regular mountain bike, where you're the one in control and you're not feeling like you're riding a dirt bike downhill. Before I take the new bike out on the trails and test all of these, let's start by taking a closer look at the Polygon Siskiyou TLE. Here are the geo numbers. It's got a 64-degree head angle, a 77-degree seat angle, 450 mil chainstays, and my medium here has a 461 millimeter reach. Polygon also finally made a bike with a UDH, so it comes kitted out with the new SRAM T-Type wireless transmission. This is for the guy that's always in the comments saying, "No UDH, no thank you." You're welcome. My base model here has a GX derailleur, and the higher spec bike will come with the SRAM XX transmission. The other main difference between the two builds is the suspension package. My P model here has a 150 mil travel Bomber Z1 with the standard grip damper, and the matching Bomber piggyback air shock to manage the 140 mils of rear travel. The R model will have the Fox 36 and FloatX Performance Elite suspension with all of the adjustments possible. For braking power, both builds come with the Magura MT7 4-piston hydraulic disc brakes with 203 mil rotors front and back. And to round out the build, Polygon is keeping the price low by speccing the Entity wheels and controls. 99% of riders will swap these out for their favorites anyways, so good move. Finally, the bike rolls on a set of 29-inch tall, 2.6-inch wide Schwalbe Hansdampf tires. These have the lighter Super Trail casings and Adex speed grip compound. The powertrain is what makes this bike so special. Both models come with a brand new super light Bosch SX motor, a super dense 400 watt-hour built-in battery, and both builds come with the 250 watt Bosch range extender. A bike like this would easily cost well over $10,000 from any other brand out there. Just wait until you see the price on this thing. There's a link in the description. Now it's time to test this bike on some gnarly BC steep sections. And I'm taking it up to ride this thing. It's called the ManDangler. It's about a 20-foot tall, almost vertical rock roll. But just before I tackle the ManDangler, let's see how it handles some of the steeper sections on my favorite trail here.
Here comes the steepest part of the trail. Ooh, yeah. Man, this bike is just so composed. Another steep part here. Oh. Okay, here's the drop.
The bike feels amazing so far. I've got a ton of braking power and the geometry feels on point. It's time now to tackle the gnarliest feature out here. The trail builders here in BC love to use the natural features in the forest. And when the opportunity presents itself, that includes making huge drops off tree stumps like this one. It's about an 8 to 10 feet drop depending on how deep you land. And right now, from up here, the landing's looking a little bit flat. I just hope that the 140 mils of rear travel is progressive enough to help my ankles from buckling when I land.
Let's go set up a side shot and get it done. Oh yeah! Well, the front fork definitely bottomed out, but I don't think I bottomed out the rear. No harsh feeling in the back. I got a feeling that IFS linkage is super progressive because I didn't feel anything on my ankles. That was sick.
It feels to me like this bike is super well balanced and ready to tackle some pretty gnarly stuff. That doesn't mean though that I won't be over forking this bike to make it one of the most capable trail bikes ever. For the climb test, I took the bike to one of the most challenging climbing trails in my area. It's full of tight switchbacks filled with rocks and roots that make the climb super technical.
So from what I've read and what I've seen, the SX motor really comes into its own and shines when the cadence is high, right? So I think for us to be able to get the most out of this little guy is gonna be to get in a nice easy gear and spin the pedals and try to keep the cadence pretty high. And so far, so good. I mean, I'm in turbo mode. I really want to see exactly how much range, how many runs I can actually get from this 400 watt hour battery. And yeah, see if I'm really missing anything compared to the full fat offering.
So this Goldilocks bike has a smaller and lighter motor that draws a bit less power. That's why they matched it up with the smaller and lighter, super dense 400 watt hour battery. Now the beauty with this system is you can just ride the bike as is and get similar range you would on an 85 Newton meter bike with a 750 watt hour battery. But if you suffer from range anxiety or you're planning a super long epic ride, Polygon's got you covered. The bike comes with a 250 watt range extender that clicks in right here. This little add-on battery will give you a whole other hour of climbing and about 1,500 feet of elevation. That's if you keep the bike in the highest power mode. You'll get even longer and higher if you knock the power down a bit. Here are the numbers from the ride today, and I only used the 400 watt-hour battery built into the bike. I was able to get 2,600 feet of elevation and about 2 hours of climbing, and at the end of the ride, I still had 2 battery bars out of 5 left. If you ask me, that's plenty of range for most rides. And I personally love having the option to choose to keep it light with a 400 watt-hour battery, or go all out with the range extender and get 650 watt-hours of juice. It's up to you and what you're riding that day.
You know what? With a nice light bike like this, 55 Newton meters of torque might just be the sweet spot. Anything more than that, you've got too much power. And anything less, well, then what's the point, right? I think Bosch has really nailed it with this thing. Look at that. Pedaling, shifting under power. Yeah. So I'm in the 3rd mode right now, which is purple. I think it's the E-MTB mode. It's not full power. Can I get up this? Yeah. Man, this bike, just so nimble. It's long, but it doesn't feel that long. The big enduro bikes here, with a lot slacker head tube angle, they suffer in those tight turns. But I feel like I'm on top of the bike here and not, you know, hanging off the back. This feels awesome. Hello. Like I said before, I think this amount of power is just perfect. Just enough to take the edge off. Kind of make you feel superhuman, you know? Yes. I can't believe how quiet and smooth and accurate this GX Axis derailleur is. It's insane. No matter how much torque and power I shift under, it's just falls into place. Look at this. Super steep. I'll just go one easier. Like under all this power, it just falls right in. I'll go heavier. Like just one, like I barely felt it, barely heard it. Just one little thunk, just falls right into place. It's so smooth. And the more power you have while you shift, the smoother it is. It's so backwards to what we're used to. Oh man, they've made this corner so easy now. Wow. Whoever's been working up here, thank you. This climbing trail is amazing. You know, I really think that bike manufacturers in 2024, 2025 here, they're looking to make the Goldilocks bike, right? The bike with the perfect amount of travel, the perfect geometry. If you're making an e-bike, you want something that's light and feels like a mountain bike, but gives you that little bit of power up the hills, right? Mountain bikers don't want a motorcycle to just do 30, 40 miles an hour up the hill. They just want something to take the edge off the climb so that they can do more of what they love. Ride bikes downhill, right? And man, I'm not gonna say it yet because this is only its first climb, but this is heading into Goldilocks territory so far on the climb.
I've always felt like 85 Newton meters was just a little bit too much power. Ask anybody with a full power e-bike and they'll usually tell you that on these steep technical trails, they get the bike down to trail or eco just to stay in control on those switchbacks. I'm super stoked with the strength of this motor and its responsiveness. On the climb, I was switching between all the modes, and I still found that the turbo mode was just too much power. Most of the time, I set the bike in the blue or purple mode midway through. Absolutely loving this thing so far.
This trail's brand new. Just had a bunch of really nice work done to it. I'm super excited to ride it. The videos look so nice. Woo! Oh man. Oh, it feels so good to ride a 40-pound bike versus a 55-pound bike. Makes such a big difference. Here we go. Oh yeah. Ooh, don't catch your pedal. Little drop. Nice. Oh, man, this bike is so agile. This is awesome. Whoa! Look at this beautiful trail work. Woo. Whoa, nice. Nice steep switchbacks. Love it. Oh. Maybe I'll have the speed for it next time. What is this? Oh, okay, it rolls. Creep up to it. Nice. Keep going. Whoop. Man, these tight little switchbacks are just perfect for this bike. If this is the type of trail that you ride most often, this bike is just tailor-made for it.
The new Siskiyou TLE is a trail bike through and through. Sharp, agile, and accurate. It feels so good riding this thing on tight single track. The Bomber suspension combo here feels smooth and supportive thanks to the bike's new suspension design. It feels like I have way more than 140 mils of travel out back when it gets rough. But as soon as I ask the bike to pop or pump on some rollers, I get immediate feedback. I'm in control with this bike, not the other way around.
On to the next one. Okay, let's see how she jumps.
Time now to tackle the gnarliest feature out here. It's called the ManDangler. It's about a 20-foot tall, almost vertical rock roll.
Okay, a little skinny, up. Oh my. Woo. Let's give it a shot. Get up, nice and slow. Oh, yeah.
To my surprise, the 150 mil travel front fork didn't bottom out at all on the compression. And the bike stayed in complete control and composed thanks to the new IFS rear suspension linkage. It feels to me like this bike is super well balanced and ready to tackle some pretty gnarly stuff. After seeing what this bike can do and how it feels, it's definitely going to be the one that I reach for the most this year. But you guys know me by now. I don't keep a bike stock for long. I've been stockpiling a bunch of sick new parts to make this sled the sickest bike I've ever owned. When the upgrade video is ready, I'm going to be putting it right here. But for now, this is the video that YouTube thinks you'll like to watch the best. Let's see if they're right. See you there.